welcome to Scofield Farm. I'm Carice. Today I'm going to do my April garden tour. It seems like I always wait until the very end of the month to do my garden tours, but I think it's because the month sort of just sneaks up on me that it's finally the next month. And we've done a lot in here. I've done a lot in here, finally, physically doing a lot better, and I want to show you. I'm so excited to share it with you, really. So let's get started. I'll talk you through kind of the veggie garden. I don't think we're going to get to the other gardens today, but I will share those with you hopefully in May. I think I want to start over on the other end of the garden because I've done so much work over here to get ready for planting out tomatoes that I'm really excited to show you my progress and kind of how things are different than the last couple months. Even though March was technically spring, it looked more wintry because we've had a lot of rain this year in Northern California. We are Northern California, Zone 9B, outside the second sunniest city in the US. So we get a lot of sunshine, except this year we got a lot of rain because we're Mediterranean climate. We have rainy winters, dry, sunny summers. And so this year was definitely not a drought year for us. Okay, I'm so excited to show you this bed. I know it may not look like much, but it is prepped all the way down the middle to plant tomatoes. I worked really hard on this. I actually did the shoveling of the compost and the soil myself, which, if you followed my health issues, is a huge step of progress. I have onions all around the perimeter of this bed. I have cosmos that came back. They're volunteering back from last year, and I've actually already transplanted a couple of those in a couple different places throughout my other gardens on our property. And otherwise, besides the onions and the place for the tomatoes, we will put a cattle panel arch between those two T-posts. And then I direct sowed some pumpkins and different winter squash all along. 2 of them have come up. Those will go over our arch, which is super fun. And then I planted stuff on the other side as well, which I will show you over there. Right after I show you my potatoes. Now I've done my potatoes, this is the second year in grow bags. I used to have a dedicated in-ground bed that was sort of like a raised bed on top of the ground, not in a box. But now we have them in grow bags, 30-gallon grow bags. I don't fill them all the way. I do top it with hay or straw. Let me show you how those look right now. And look how pretty the grapevines are on the chain link fence right behind me. Those are a beautiful view in my garden. Mostly the chickens eat them, birds. My kids do eat off of them. I'm allergic to grapes, so I don't eat off of them. But they're a fun, like, free range kind of food for my birds and my children. So I probably only have these about half full of soil, but they do have potatoes coming back up. A few of those were ones I left that were too small from our last harvest around December time. And then some were potatoes that actually sprouted in my pantry that we had bought, like a big 50-pound order of potatoes from Missouri Standard. We order through them. And so those had sprouted a ton. I thought, well, we are going to recycle them and make them more potatoes to eat later on. And I'm also proud of the mulching that my son has done. My 17-year-old has done a ton of mulching. You will see part of the only part of the garden that he hasn't finished right here, right? But the rest of our big garden, he has remulched all the pathways with wood chips that we got from Chip Drop. And it is going to help so much with Bermuda grass that likes to grow up. Another fun thing is right here. It looks like I have a sunflower that volunteered, and one year I had a whole sunflower forest of volunteers in my pathways in my garden, and that was a really special year for me. I loved it. I let them all go and bloom. We had so many bees. We do keep bees, so my bees were very happy with all of the sunflowers blooming, and I secretly wished that that would happen again. I haven't planted any sunflowers yet. I usually start those inside. It has been very, very busy, full schedule kind of year. So any volunteers I can get, like those cosmos and the sunflowers in this pot, I will take them because I haven't started any flowers yet inside. My sweet chickens always come and see if I'm going to feed them chard. So she's right here behind me while I film. My pretty sunflower volunteers. She is hoping that I will feed her some garden scraps, aren't you? Aren't you, cutie? That is her name. She is a cutie, but we also named her Cutie. Also transplanted a borage that my sister-in-law's parents gave me, into here to help bring my pollinators and transplanted one of those volunteer cosmos into here as well. So those will be flowers for me in this self-watering pot. And over here I have like my forest of asparagus. There are still some that we are harvesting like this, still in the end of April. But then I missed some when we were out of town for spring break visiting my son in Southern California. So they are like my forest. That is okay. It actually helps them get better every year. Oh, look at this. This one looks so good, and I should just go ahead and harvest it. Oops, there we go. These are so delicious from the garden. Now I do have some that volunteered in the pathway. I do want to cut those up. I want to give a more permanent spot for these asparagus since they are perennial. But we didn't have money to do raised beds again when we got them from a friend. I traded plants, and so we put them in the self-watering pots, knowing we could always move them and put them in a more permanent spot. Oh, another volunteer sunflower. This is fun. Yay, first volunteers. I think that is a weed, but we have a potato that came back, and we haven't grown potatoes officially in this area for over a year, but we had a volunteer crop last year. It used to be my potato bed. We gave it a rest last year, and then we had the attack of all attacks from burrowing, gophers, voles, moles, ground squirrels, you name it. Anything that burrowed that is a rodent came into this bed last year. So I'm kind of glad we didn't have potatoes. However, the things that I did plant here got like sucked into the ground. They messed up my soil royally. And I'm kind of like resting this bed besides volunteers. Maybe I'll put some flowers. Maybe I'll transplant some of those cosmos. I will start maybe some zinnia, marigold, that kind of stuff over here so that it's not a waste of space. But I think I need to plant an actual above ground garden bed with the hardware cloth underneath, because they discovered this spot and they also messed up all my garden paths. My raised beds, they were all safe because we have hardware cloth underneath them. But we just have so many, it's hard to get away with planting actually in the ground just because of our specific area's problems. I also want you to see the huge eucalyptus that are behind our garden on the north side. So they don't shade us, but they are so beautiful. Who knew that eucalyptus could get so big, right? They are like 40, 50-foot trees here in Northern California. And I know some people grow them in their raised garden beds, which is crazy to me, but it's probably crazy to you if you do that mine are like huge. Okay, this is the bed I wanted to show you. I've done some cleanup, but I have a lot of cleanup left to do. Actually, what I need to do is harvest lots of calendula, and I've been starting it today. I really have been starting it today. But you guys, isn't this gorgeous? I mean, how could I harvest all of this to make room for peppers? I know I need to, but I love flowers, and I have an entire 4x12 bed of flowers. I mean, how can I purposely take flowers out to put peppers in? Although I love peppers pretty much as flowers. So it is definitely my dilemma. I'm sharing with you, I've been harvesting. My daughter got a bull. She snipped off a lot of tops of the calendula, laying them flat to dry. I would love to make a salve out of our beeswax from our bees, and maybe some good oils, and then make a like infused oil with the calendula, a skin salve. I started drying these a ways back, but then last year I didn't harvest like any, and I didn't pull any volunteers, and so hence I have the field of calendula, which are so beautiful. My favorite variety is strawberry blonde calendula. It is pinkish, sometimes it's striped pink and white and yellow. It is very pretty. I also grow pink surprise. I think it's called pink surprise. It's not really pink surprise, it's actually orange. I grow snow white, I think it's called, or snow princess. I think it's called snow princess. And then the yellow pom-pom. So I have 4 varieties of calendula in my garden, and I really do like calendula. I don't harvest it nearly enough, but I enjoy it being here, and so it's still worth it to me whether or not I harvest as much as I should. But this year I have decided I will harvest more, so hopefully you can keep me accountable. Do you have a hard time harvesting flowers or bringing flowers in or cutting them in your garden? Please tell me it's not only me. Please tell me I'm not alone. You can let me know in the comments if you feel the same, like, want to let the beautiful flowers live feeling that I feel so often. Even though I do like them inside and I like to use them, I just like coming outside and seeing flowers. So right here you can see I have other pumpkins and squash coming up. Winter squash, I did them on a whole video. I need to go back and look and mark it because I don't remember what I planted where. And look at this beautiful sweet alyssum. It is so gorgeous. I have this stuff all over my garden. I have royal carpet alyssum, which is purple, and then I have the white alyssum, and it's like a beautiful ground cover, and it is just so lovely. Shallow roots so it can grow underneath other things. And again, so many calendula. You guys, I have my job cut out for me. I'm supposed to have loofah growing on this side, but critters ate it when I transplanted what I started inside, so I just direct sowed some more seeds. Here's hoping, because I love growing loofah and we use them as sponges for doing our dishes. We have them in our showers for cleaning. The next bed is another one I worked really hard on today to get ready, prep it for planting out tomatoes. Okay, so I direct sowed some more squashes and cucumbers and that kind of stuff on the edge. They have not come up. I have peas all the way down the middle. I think they're snap peas or snow peas, I can't remember. I have a little patch of radishes right here, and a mustard, and a, let's see, a cosmos, some more calendula. Oh, I'll have to show you that purple carpet alyssum over there, or royal carpet. But the rest of this I amended with our own compost, brought the soil level up, have it all ready to plant tomatoes as soon as I feel ready. And I'm saving seed from the Chinese cabbage that I did not harvest this year. I just lost track of time. My grandma died at the same time it was ready, so it just didn't happen. But I will save seeds from it. So I'm growing seeds in my garden. And then I've got to show you this, you guys. The royal carpet alyssum is so beautiful. It's so delicate. I love purple in my garden. Purple in my garden reminds me of my grandma because purple was her favorite color and she was a gardener who grew flowers. And I always grew flowers that were purple in my garden because of her and always thought of her. I had her here. She turned 96, 5 days before she passed. And I was really blessed to live local to her my whole adult life. My childhood, she lived in Santa Cruz, California, and I would go visit her. And I have such special memories of spending time with her in the summertime and walking to the beach from her house and going to different plant nurseries and collecting petals off the floor of begonias that had dropped their petals. And anyway, I already grow a lot of flowers as my grandma. And then now not having her here, it makes me want to grow even more of all the flowers and all the purple and everything that could possibly remind me of her. My peonies. I have a pot of peonies by my front door, and she gave them to me when we got this house. Goodness, I think we closed on this house almost 6 years ago. We moved in 5.5 years ago. I think she gave them to me 5 years ago, like in the springtime. And every time they bloom, I send her pictures, and I didn't get to send her pictures this year, but I'm going to show you what they look like because they were stunning. And they waited for me. When I got home from our trip to LA, they were right there, big and blooming, and you know the short window that peonies bloom, so it was very special that they were still blooming and didn't bloom the whole time while it's gone, and then were dead when I got home. This garden bed is very full. That is chives that you see all beautiful and purple. You see some yellow snapdragons. We've had these in our garden. I think this is the 3rd year. So 2 full years, 2 full winters that they overwintered and survived. They're so beautiful. And I love to snap them. There we go, snaps. Snap, snap. And we also have lots of kale that I grew over the winter. This is called cyberphil kale. And then I also have the dino kale, or lasiado, I think is how you call it. And then I have my purple coneflower, or echinacea, coming back. Those are perennial. They come back every year. They get big and bushy and beautiful. I have a chard that I've had in this bed, I think for, maybe this is the 4th year. I don't know if I want to keep that one there forever. More calendula. Yes, I told you I have a lot. And then it looks like I have a pepper maybe coming back right here. That would be interesting. So it looked like it had died, but I think it's coming back. And then this right here is all shallots. I have French gray shallots. I was gifted by a friend, and this is the third year I'm growing them. The first year I forgot to harvest them. The second year I harvested and they multiplied, but they were little. And this year I'm hoping they're bigger because I planted them back out purposefully when you're supposed to. I also am growing some different cucumbers along this fence line, and it will go up and over the arch. And I'm trying to not grow oak trees, but I have, guys, pulled over 200 volunteer oak trees from my garden just in the last few weeks. Over here is a garden bed I need to do a lot of work on because the soil level has sunk so low, but I have 2 giant chards, I always have calendula in every bed. See how beautiful those leaves are? Strawberry blonde, guys. I recommend it. And then I have onions all along the perimeter. I'm trying to grow some melons over here, and I do have one, I'll show you right over here, that is coming up. Just one so far. I'm hoping the others do, right there. And then I have my favorite onions, are red onions, and they're just starting to sort of bulb a little bit. They have a lot of time left. We don't usually harvest them till June or July. And here, you guys, is my walkway of California poppies. They're not wide open because it's overcast, but I have California poppies all through this walkway very purposefully. I love them so much. I love California poppies. I grew up in California. I'm native to California, like literally native Wintu tribe of Northern California. And I love California poppies. Oh my gosh. Okay, I don't know if anyone else enjoys this like I do, but I just smile when I see the poppies. Like a big giant smile. They are like pure sunshine to me. These, I say this all the time. You can actually click the like button on this video if you've heard this story before. You can click it anyway if you want to, but I like to share that I had a really hard time trying to grow red corn poppies in the front of our property, not over here. And I had the hardest time transplanting them, direct sowing them. They kept not coming up. And they did eventually. That was after like my 3rd year try. But these volunteered in this pathway. And this was a whole area that wasn't cultivated when we bought this property. We put in the full garden, we put in the fence, we put in the compost piles, we put in the chicken coops. Like, this wasn't water. There was no irrigation working to here. And yet I got all of this beautifulness, and I feel like it was just a gift from God because He knows the desires of my heart. He knows my love for flowers. He knows my little rebellious streak that wants to pick the California poppies, even though when I was a kid, I was always told it was illegal to pick California poppies, and I actually thought they would take you like straight to jail. So you'll see over here, my daughter has a vase of California poppies she picked because my kids can pick them anytime because they are in my garden and they're perennial and they come back over and over and over again. That's pretty cool. Here's her little poppy vase. She's 8. She loves flowers just like I do. Right here, I already planted out my Jamaican Roselle hibiscus. I've grown it in this pot over and over. I do amend the soil. It gets big, like a small tree, but it is an annual here. It doesn't live all year, and I will pick all the blooms, and we make a wonderful drink that my husband grew up with in Guatemala because he grew up in Guatemala. Ooh, the sun is coming out. So pretty. This is the next bed I'm going to show you. It's my leek bed. Leeks are perennial here. They self-sow. I have leeks forever and ever. I planted a nasturtium right here. Lots of leeks. As you can see, I mean, I really seriously only have a few I need to harvest. Oh, look. Beautiful head of Mayan jaguar lettuce. Funny story, I planted a bunch of lettuce over here and I thought I covered them. My bird netting blew off. The birds ate them all except that one. The lone survivor of lettuce in this garden bed. Another garden bed has a ton. Look at my onions. They're bulbing up pretty well. They still have time, lots of time, but they look good over here. And then this leek, oh my goodness, I probably should harvest that one right there. That's a good one. And then see the little leeks on the side. That's why I mean that they're perennial bed. I will have leeks here till the end of time. Oh, that one is huge. Look at that. It's a big one right there. This calendula on the end of the bed is the one called, I think it's called Ice Princess or Snow Princess. I will look it up and put it on the bottom of the screen for you. It's really pretty. It's like a really pale yellow. It's different than my yellow pom-pom. I like it. I like yellow pom-pom, but that's a fun difference. And then these are chives. I have chives all over my garden. They're usually the first thing to bloom in my garden. And the bees love them. And we make a delicious chive salt and chive powder and all the chive stuff. Here is my strawberries. And I'm happy to tell you, I did finally thin them and amend the soil. I think I've been telling you guys every garden tour for over a year how badly I need to do this. And there are lots of little green berries. Oh, those are gonna be so tasty. And look how it's not so crowded. I mean, you might still think this looks crowded, a 4x12 bed of strawberries, but you guys, I took out over 200 strawberry plants out of this bed alone. So it definitely has a lot more breathing room. I was able to amend the soil. Finally, the soil level had got so low that it was embarrassing. So this is going to be so much better, and there's going to be so many berries. Like, I don't know if you can see them, but they're hiding under there. Tons and tons of berries everywhere. Everywhere. I mean, like, some of them I got buried by the soil that I put in there. But there's going to be a lot of them. It's great to tell you I actually did something that I've said probably the last 15 or 16 months that I needed to do here. Over and over. Those of you who watch tours have heard me say, I'm so embarrassed by my strawberry bed. It's too crowded. It needs to be amended. It needs to be fed. Well, I did it. It shows anybody can garden, folks. Miracles happen, and if I can do it and I can grow food, you can too, because I get behind, I forget, I'm imperfect. But this growing food thing doesn't only rely on us, thankfully. Plants want to grow, food wants to grow, and we are here to partner with what God is already doing. That is good news. The next bed has lots of garlic on this side. We have chives sprinkled in throughout. I mean, a lot of chives. And I took an entire chive plant out of this bed. I think I had 4 huge ones. Now I just have 3, just 3. And then I did try to plant cucamelon here. They have not come up. As you can see, nothing's come up. I don't know, guys. There's a little nasturtium, a chard that's been about, 4 or 5 years old. Seriously. And next to the chard, I direct sowed summer squash, and none of them have come up. And it's hard to think that my seeds aren't good. So I'm just thinking it might take some time, or I don't know. I might have to redo them. I didn't want to start inside. I just didn't have room or time. I direct sowed them. And like literally, I don't know. That is a seed right there. I don't know. I think something ate it, right? I don't know. It seems empty. That is the weirdest thing. Totally empty, no plant. I might need to re-sow these. That is so weird. It's never happened before. That is so weird. I probably need to re-sow them. I'm taking one of my boys to a soccer tournament tonight, so it's not going to be for a few days, but I have never seen an empty seed, and I do have a lot of critters. I do. I have a lot of pests and critters because I fully garden organically. I don't do sprays. I don't do that kind of stuff, poisons. So maybe that's just so weird. Guys, I have been growing food for 17 years, I think. 17 summers, 16 years, I think is how it works. And I've never encountered this specific thing happening. So there's always something new. Always something to figure out and learn and to overcome. It just doesn't get boring. This bed is full of garlic and chives. So many chives. I'm trying to grow some cucumber down here along this fence. They have not come up yet. I might have to re-sow those. Who knows, guys? We have so much. I think we're growing like over 300, maybe 400 heads of garlic. I need to count. My sage is going to bloom so beautiful this year. I think maybe when I get back from the soccer tournament, it will have its flowers out. Ooh, those are always so pretty. And then I have in between the garlic, more Royal Carpet Alyssum, more, I think it's called Snow Princess, Calendula. This bed, I purposely did not want to plant tomatoes in, even though I have the cattle panels and the T-posts. So I made it so it was impossible. I filled it so I would resist. Sometimes the only way for me to give something a rest is to force it. And if I have no option, then I have to not plant those extra tomatoes I have. This bed, I worked really hard at amending and bringing up the soil level with compost from our compost we made. I have a little chamomile is about to bloom. Like 2 carrots. 2 carrots that came up. Those didn't do that great. And then tons of lettuce. I have 4 varieties. I have Price Head, Mayan Jaguar, and I just figured out I actually did have this ice, I think it's called Ice Queen or whatever. I didn't think it had any, but a couple of them turned out to be that. I thought they were just frilly. Look at that. So it's a type of iceberg, and it does have a little bit of a head. It's mostly leafy, but the middle does head up. I thought those were more of my butter crunch, but I ate all my butter crunch, and those are slightly different. So yes, lots of salad, lots of lettuce, a little bit of calendula, and 1 lone kale. And I think that might be an asparagus, which is very weird. I thought it was dill, but that definitely looks like asparagus. I don't want it here, so I'll have to pull that, unfortunately. And that's April, and you're probably gonna see this in the start of May. That is how things are going, because I'm trying to get ready to plant out peppers, eggplant, basil, tomatoes. It's so much work, but it's so exciting because there's so much anticipation. If you enjoy this kind of stuff, follow along, subscribe, stay around in our community, and I will see you again soon. Got to get back to working on this garden so we can plant.